Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction that only one person ever could have asked for. It was Black Gold in my executive producer queue. This is the Grand Canyon theme from Ben 10 Protector of Earth on the DS, which I didn't even know existed, but apparently had quite a bit of impact on Black Gold as a kid, so we're going to be listening to this. I have watched the original Ben 10. It was pretty big when I was a kid, so of course I've seen it, but also as a side note, this is not the upload that Black Gold gave me because that channel was completely removed. It was terminated for whatever reason, so I went to find another upload. Hopefully this is the same song. I can't check to see if it is, and I'm not going to bother Black Gold right now to be able to find that out, so here's hoping. Sorry if it's the wrong version, Black Gold, but let's go. That's kind of a vibe. And Black Gold did say that the bass peaked in the original upload. And if this is what he meant, that's not a peak as much as it is just heavy distortion. Which, to be fair, kind of the same thing to an extent at least, but... Yeah, it's got that, like, retro vibe I, like, kind of dig a little bit. I mean, it's a DS game, so definitely retro by now, but... It's just the sound font, really. It's doing a lot for me. But also, it's just got a groove to it. Like, it's a video game song, for sure. But it has that video game composition aesthetic to it as well. That just kind of makes you want to be like, hell yeah. A little bit spacey, for obvious reasons, if you know Ben 10. I like that, do that like fall. That's a cool syncing effect. Adds a little bit of tension in there. Because like, this is so positive, and that interlude there is very... I don't want to say cinematic because it's not, but it has a presence to it like there's something else there, you know? But this right here is just like... Just kind of chilling with Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa, you know? It's got such a chill, relaxed vibe to it. Yeah, but that like tension it adds at that transition. It's just like, oh no, here's something you're not sure about. Which, I don't know what happens in the Grand Canyon in this game, but I would figure with Ben 10, like anything, it probably has something to do with aliens, and you shouldn't be there, or it shouldn't be there, and you have to go handle it, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, kind of a vibe, actually. Like, again, it has a lot of that nostalgia quality to it, given the sound font that was being used there. It sounds so much like many of the games I played as a kid, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And there is something kind of like childish wonder about getting to hear something new from that era that you never heard, even if it's not like the most awesome theme ever, it's still serviceable for what it was doing. It was a DS game, a tie-in to a Cartoon Network show. You're not going to get like the highest tier composers for that, but you're also going to get something that fits the vibe. Most of the time, the composers for these games are just trying to get a paycheck because they need to be able to get their name out there and get their work out there, so they take whatever, but also they're musicians. A lot of the time, people who are doing smaller games like this, these like lower quality, what we would call shovelware games, are largely people who really care about their their quality because they want it to be good so it can be part of their portfolio going forward. And in that, you get this care and attention where the people will watch the show and, really dig into the source material, find out what the essence of the show or the game is that they're trying to make, and actually lean into that a little bit better than some other people. You can definitely get composers who are like huge, but also just don't care, like they just aren't convinced that this is something they should care about at all or work hard on, so they don't, and it ends up kind of being mid or worse. And games like this never really had that problem more often than not. It was usually people who just made music and needed to make music in order to pay their bills, but in doing that, they wanted to make sure that the companies would hire them again, so they did a good job and put a lot of effort into getting that love and care into the tone. And I think that's exactly what this song does. It just kind of gets it. It gets the overall vibe of Ben 10. I grew up with Ben 10. I loved Ben 10, like I understand that aesthetic that they're going for, what it actually felt like as a kid watching it. And this feels like something that I would have heard in the show, but maybe like as like a side thing, like actually Ben playing on his Game Boy or some shit, like anything like that. It could have fit into the show is my whole point. The fact that it gets the overall aesthetic of the show pretty well just in this theme, and I'm sure there's plenty more from this game that probably do even better, but it's just nice hearing these songs understand that, and these composers get it and they go for it. And sometimes you get some really nice, really nostalgic songs that stick in your head, and you get these themes that'll never go away. I mean, what else was the Mario theme, right? Like it was just that. Let's make a theme. Okay. And now it's one of the most recognizable themes of all time. That impact can happen to anyone from any game. So when you make something that truly feels like the property it came from, it'll do that. It'll stick. And then the person who it stuck to will request it on a YouTuber's queue years later, probably as an adult, and get it heard by other people. And maybe there's a few of you watching this who have played this game and you're like, yeah, let's revisit that and see what somebody else says about it. And like, again, that's the point. The fact that this song from some random, fairly obscure DS game decided to show up and it stuck, and people are still looking it up and discovering it years later and going, whoa, that's kind of neat that it just stuck around in somebody's subconscious for that long. I can't think of many things more gratifying as a composer than that must feel. Like getting to see people years later still experiencing their work and getting to hear it and relate to it in some way like that. So I think that's cool. I think this whole thing that somebody's requesting a song from a game so many years old at this point, and they're still hearing it. People are still thinking about it. And while it may be obscure, that doesn't mean that it means nothing, It still means something to someone, or it wouldn't be here right now. And as a musician, that's just gotta feel fantastic. So I hope whoever composed this might not remember that they made it, but maybe they do, and maybe they're feeling a little bit proud that it's still out there and people are still enjoying it, even though they thought it was just a paycheck at the time. But I think that'll be all I'm gonna say on this one. I'm surprised I talked as long as I did on this one. Usually I talk less, but something about this whole situation felt like I could put it into a perspective that might sound kind of neat to all of you if you haven't thought about it like that. Music sticks to people. No matter where it's from, no matter what it's from, it can just be there at any time, and it's always cool to see that have an effect on future generations. So having a video like this come out where I'm hearing something I've never heard before, and maybe some other people are going to click on it and watch it and give it a listen, they might not be necessarily impressed, but the fact that it made an impact even a little bit, enough to click on a video, is really cool to me. But I'll digress there. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something you want me to get to, by all means, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to it. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Black Gold did for this one, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There is a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want me to listen to. Does not matter how good it is, what it's from, how old it is, or really if it's just trash, it could be just trash. But also it could be something very nostalgic like this that means a lot to you. But otherwise, if you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!